Hey guys, it's Numistacker here, and tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about my view on silver. And I'll be honest with you that I don't really like silver that much. You know, it's always got this position in the market as the poor man's gold. It's never quite the same value. And, whilst Donald Trump might tweet and say, well, $16, $17 an ounce, why is it so damn cheap? It's cheap because that seems to be the value that the market places on it. As you can see, I have quite a lot of silver. Do I like silver? No, not very much. Would I prefer to have all gold? Well, yes, probably I would prefer to keep gold, and that's just the way things are, really. And I have bought silver. I do buy silver. I'm continually buying bits of silver, and probably all for the wrong reasons. Let's start with bullion and buying silver which is close to spot. I don't really buy rounds of silver. I don't really buy large amounts even of semi-numismatic silver. I don't buy 200 of something, 100 of something. I'm much more of a collector than I am a true stacker. I don't believe it's very easy, unless you're pretty clever and you buy very well, to make money out of silver. I think that there are lots of people around who have bought silver, maybe bought a little bit of silver, and lost a lot of money as well. People, I continually see people coming into this market, buying a little bit of silver, maybe watching some of these videos, getting some ideas on what silver to buy. Then they go out, they buy some silver, but they don't really have the ability to keep that silver for the time it takes to make money out of it. So I see a lot of people coming in on the silver forum, getting interested in silver, buying a few semi-numismatic rounds, and then 4 or 5 months later, or even sooner, selling them out, getting the cash. Most of those people, you can bet, have lost money. They've had to pay the large premium on buying silver compared to gold. They've had to pay the dealer's profit, which is higher in percentage terms on silver because of the lower value of the metal and the item. It's higher. A higher profit is required to be able to afford to deal in silver than in gold. So they buy these coins, they take a look, maybe the new one comes out, maybe they decide, well, I can't afford to have coin A and coin B, so I'll sell coin A at maybe even at a loss, a small loss, and then I'll go and buy coin B, and then the same thing happens later. And it's like a circle of losses. So that's one of the reasons I don't do that. I kind of buy things when I see them, when they're good value, and I keep them. I try to keep pretty much everything I've ever bought. I have over time had a few occasions where I've wanted to buy something bigger, or I've wanted to change silver to gold, and I've then gone ahead and I've sold some silver coins and bought gold. Sometimes I feel that the time is right in the market, particularly for a semi-numismatic item, where the market has gone up quite a lot, and I've decided now is the time to sell some of those particular coins. I've done that with Luna One, Mouse, and some of Ox, and all these kind of things. Things that suddenly the market says this is worth double, and I've taken advantage of that. I've sold to people who want to come in and collect. I don't buy a lot of the new ones. I just buy 1 or 2 bits and pieces, and that's fine. I find that it's a lot of hard work buying and looking after silver. I like gold for its portability. I like gold for its narrow margins, and silver to me is a means to an end. So, for example, I might want to pick up a tenth of an ounce or a quarter of an ounce of gold. I can't afford that 1 month, so I take some silver and maybe over a few months accumulate a little bit of silver. If I'm lucky, that silver goes up a little bit in value, and I can then sell that silver and then buy the gold, and the gold then goes into the perma stack and is there, until I want to get something bigger. My objective in all this is probably a little bit different from the average stacker. I'm not a prepper. I'm not buying these things because I think, it's the end of the world within the next few years. In the UK, it's very difficult to have guns, and you certainly wouldn't have any use for ammunition. We'll leave that to you guys in America. But so I'm not a prepper. I'm not really a hardcore stacker. I'm much more of a collector. I buy the things that I like, that I enjoy, that I want to own, and that I buy things on the basis that they will be with me potentially for a long time. Things like this, for example. I don't have any bullion eagles. I think I gave the last one away as a prize at a conference I went to that I had. This is one of the 2 or 3 that I've got in my collection. I chose this one because it's a work of beauty. It's a very special edition. It's got an enhanced finish, and it really shows off the eagle to its best advantage. But it's not anything to do with spot. It's not really anything to do with the fact that it's silver. The fact that it's silver is a kind of byproduct that makes it more affordable compared to one that is in gold. I've bought over the last 2 or 3 years some silver pandas. I don't go for the 70s generally. They're too expensive. The market is too fickle. But I think the value point with a lot of pandas is actually the 69s. There's nothing very much in terms of the pleasure of looking at them to separate a 70 or a 69. Much has been said on the fickleness of grading of modern coins. Pandas are no exception, and a 69 is generally good enough for me. Now, it may be that over the next year or 2 all my pandas will be sold and they will all go to buy a couple of 1 ounce gold coins, or something which is much more portable, something I don't have to worry about, something I can keep for a long time. So, silver means different things to different people. A lot of you guys are hardcore stackers. I respect that. I appreciate that. You're stacking for different reasons. One of the things that I really want to do with my collection and my stack is to, over a period of time, exchange income for capital. I'm very bad with money. I've always been very bad with money. If I have it, I will spend it. It'll go on things that have no payback whatsoever. I can quite happily find myself heavily in debt as I once was, and it's hard. It's hard to actually go through life knowing that you've got nothing really to fall back on. You feel very susceptible to anything bad that happens in your life, whether it's medical, family, someone else who needs help, the loss of a job, anything that can happen in life. And without capital, you're like a tree in the middle of a desert being blown by the wind, and there's nothing you can do about it. So for me, one of the most important things I can do, both for me and for my family and for my children, is to, over a period of time, probably 5 to 10 years, systematically convert income to interest in capital. And that's really what I'm doing with this collection. I'm taking money I have today that would otherwise be spent. I'm buying the things that I can actually afford to buy every month. A lot of that time it's silver as opposed to gold, which is a much more expensive thing to buy up front quite often, certainly in the larger sizes. And then at some stage I'll start the process of taking that silver and putting it into gold. But actually I'm not wedded to the gold either. I like the gold. It is portable, it's shiny, it gives me pleasure in looking at all the different designs and looking up things in catalogues. It's kind of therapeutic and relaxing and a nice thing to do that separates day-to-day life from work life. However, what I really want to do is build assets that can appreciate and be income producing. So that my favourite type of asset is either shares or property, real estate. So it is quite likely that within the next 5 to 10 years I'll want to sell every single thing I've ever bought. I might start again, I might not, but I'll be selling everything and then putting it down as a deposit on a property, and then that property will then be in the name of a company, and it'll be a way of handing down value and income producing assets to my children and to their children. And that process is, I think, a very important process to help build wealth in a family. And it's nothing really. It starts off with silver, it moves to gold, but then it goes on to other things as well. I think that metals are going to have a fairly hard time over the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see any major upward pressure of movement. I think coins are likely to have a hard time generally over the next few years, as fewer and fewer people even use or spend physical money. Everything is moving towards credits and electronic money. In 10 years' time, who's to know any of our kids will actually even recognise what this is, and the fact that it has a queen's head on it and an estate, and it's a fiat bit of currency or it's legal tender, may not make any difference to people. I don't know. That's one of the reasons I'm happy to buy medals as well as real fiat money, and I think medals with a very low mintage have a great potential for the future, which is why so many of my videos are about Chinese medals. So I mean, that's, this again, strategy for stacking and collecting, and is based on an individual's view of the world. It's highly personal, and every single one of you watching this video will have a different idea about what you're trying to do. All I ask of you is think about what you're trying to do. Think about why you're doing it. Think about your time frame and horizon. And if you can't hold money in a physical metal for at least 4, 5, 6, 10 years, it may be better not to buy it in the first place. So that's the kind of thought that I want to leave you with. I hope you enjoyed the video and looking at my collection of silver. Please like, subscribe, and let me have your comments, and let me know, and everyone else know, in fact, what your strategy is for stacking and collecting.